Hello, let's rev up our chainsaws as we cut through the audience's minds as we play Gears of War.
Clever.
Reloaded. So, this is the first game review for From the Shelf, so there are some things I like to do before talking about a new topic. I've been gaming since I was at least 4 years old. My first console was the PlayStation. My first video game ever was Crash Bandicoot. And I just kind of never stopped. Cody, what about you?
I've been gaming since before I could walk. No, I would sit on laps and play games with people when I was a baby. So, that's sort of true. But no, I've been gaming for literally since my hands would let me. I feel like before PlayStation, we had Super Nintendo and Genesis. And then, at my grandparents' house, I would occasionally play the NES. But in my household, it was SNES and Genesis first. And then PlayStation would have been the first new console that came into the house after I was born.
I didn't play Nintendo until the N64.
And I would play that at friends' houses, but yeah, I never had one. I did want one, mostly for Star Fox at the time.
You've been on basically PlayStation exclusively almost as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I mean... It always has the things that I want to play pretty much across the board. So
kind of ironic that our first game review was an Xbox game.
Yes, and no, it's so weird that Xbox Game Studios logo is becoming a lot more frequent on PS5, and it's just weird.
So the game we're talking about is Gears of War Reloaded, which is a remaster of a remaster.
Yep, from 2015 was the previous remaster. The game was originally 2006, so I guess they're just going to keep re-releasing this every 10 years or so.
So I first played Gears of War 1 in 2007 on the 360, and back in the day, I loved this game. Cody, I don't think so much.
Yeah, I played the PC version. I don't remember when, though. I think it was pretty early on, because I barely remember it. When we were playing this, I didn't remember any of it, but I know I played the whole thing.
I know the PC version was widely considered inferior to the 360 version.
I don't remember having a problem with the gameplay so much. I just found it boring, I think was the thing. And then I can't remember if I ever played 2 or 3. I know I played the first one. But yeah, I didn't really care for it back then.
So I picked it up on PlayStation 5, which is weird for me to say, but I own the PS5 version. And then Cody, I believe you gameflied it.
I did. Yeah, I wasn't going to buy this, not with my previous experience, but you asked me to play it with you, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll make it happen.
So, plot-wise, there's not much to go over this time.
Make bad guys go boom is the whole plot.
The game focuses mainly on 2 characters, Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago. Player 1 is Marcus, and the player 2 is Dom. And they're just kind of big, buff dudes who fight things called the Locust. You don't learn a whole lot about the Locust. There's a cutscene sort of letting you know what's going on, but you don't really follow it because the game doesn't really care about the story all that much. It's just big dudes kill monsters and people die.
Yeah, a few main characters die, and I felt nothing.
Yeah, your captain gets killed by the main villain, sort of main villain, right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I was just like, well, there goes that guy.
Yeah. Also, that's another thing I want to talk about is the main villain is barely a factor in the game. He's just kind of there 3 times.
I mean, to be fair, games back in the day did often do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, kind of think about the original Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth's sort of just in the background until he's the final boss.
Yeah, but he's present throughout the whole story. He has speaking roles. He's always a looming threat. General Rom's just, there. To the point where I don't think you even knew his name.
Well, I know I didn't.
That's my point. I don't think you personally knew his name.
I definitely did not know.
But the gameplay-wise, this game is a third-person cover shooter, which I think was actually relatively new back then.
Yeah, I was trying to think of other shooters around the time, and I was having trouble placing it, just putting myself back then and being like, all right, what else came out around then? And I could not make a comparison.
Well, even Mass Effect was after this, and Vanquish was after this. So, there are a lot of things that games do nowadays that came from Gears of War, the slow walking parts where you're talking to other characters started here in Gears of War.
Now, at the time, that was usually used as a loading mechanic. A lot of times, at least. I know in Vanquish it was, and you could painfully feel it in Vanquish because sometimes the game would just hang.
The hit this button to look at something off in the distance started in Gears of War. Cover mechanics, big here in Gears of War. So a lot of modern gaming conventions used nowadays were started in Gears of War, so credit where credit's due. But the game, in the 20 years since its release, because this remaster does not clean anything up gameplay-wise.
Yeah, and you can feel that.
It has 20-year-old jank in it.
Now, I assume the frame rate was better in this?
Yes.
Because it did run smoothly, so there was that.
Oh, but there were a couple of glitches we had, Cody.
Oh, I meant, like, visually it ran smoothly. But, oh, no, I got glitched like crazy. I have that one... I saved that clip where the door just closes in front of me, and it's the only way forward.
He jumped over a cover mechanic, floated in the air. The door wouldn't let him through. Closed in front of him. He was just trapped.
Yep. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll get teleported or something. It's possible that if you had continued that I would have gotten teleported, but like, we don't know that. So you just reloaded the checkpoint. But yep, I got stuck. Irreversibly stuck.
Yeah, he did. And that wasn't the only time we had some bugs like that. There were bugs all over this remaster.
Yeah, it was crazy, twitchy, and I feel like I got it worse than you did for some reason, which doesn't make sense.
You'd think it'd be about the same. You definitely had more glitches than I did, but it affected our run, so I had to, readjust.
The game crashed, I think, twice for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have a crash, so that's interesting. So we're getting a lot of back and forth here with the issues.
Yeah. Like, the core gameplay itself isn't really a problem. I just find the controls to be a little dated, a little janky. And the game can be unfairly difficult at times.
Yeah, but not because it's like, it felt like forced difficulty, or the glitches were just making it so, it's like, well, I shouldn't have died there.
Because there were a couple parts where I was like, Cody, we're going to get killed here, and we get through it like in 5 seconds. Like, the final boss, I think, only beat us once.
Yes, and it's mostly because we weren't ready for the sequence of events, and then we went back through, and I think we just decimated him in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, and then there's the Brumak fight, which I was like, dude, I got crushed here so hard when I first played there. We smoked the damn thing. But there were other parts, like in that like theater where one of us had to be on top and the other had to be
that
on the
like
bottom.
Why was that so that was so randomly difficult? That I don't get that one still.
Dude, it was stupid. And the boss fights you don't even know they're boss fights, really. The only one I can tell you straight up was a boss fight were the Brumak and the final boss. But, I guess the Corpser.
But, I mean, for the most part, we didn't struggle. There were just those random times where either it got glitchy and it just screwed us up, or, like that one. The theater one is the one that stands out because there's no reason that should have been as hard as it was.
For clarify, we played this on a normal difficulty because I didn't have the patience to play this on hardcore or higher. Graphically, it looks okay.
As literally as soon as the first cutscene started, I'm like, well, this is definitely a remaster, not a remake.
This could have benefited from a full-on remake, I think.
It should have been, because the thing is, like, you say, like, oh, yeah, the gameplay was overall fine, but the thing is, it lacked a certain punch. So it's like, when I was shooting somebody, I didn't feel like I was shooting somebody. The guns felt just weak. Like I wasn't doing anything when I was shooting something. And of course, this is a more modern thing. Although I think it started pretty shortly after this game. Is the damage indicator just, it didn't make me feel like I was taking damage either. So in both directions, it felt like damage just wasn't happening. And the next thing you know, you're down.
Where your health would take forever to fill up, or the others would be dead in seconds.
Yeah, and it was no difference. Like same enemy, different area. And he downs you in one shot versus standing there letting you shoot him in the face. Like, the AI was so inconsistent.
Dude, I remember one where a boomer was like shooting at you. I just went behind him and unloaded a lancer into his spine, and he never turned around and attacked me.
And then again, the next thing you know, they're running around a corner, shotgun you, and you're down before you even see them. It's just, what? And then there's also the fact that the reticle doesn't tell you which direction you're being shot from.
Annoying, which even Halo in 2001 got that right.
Like, that's important.
Like, I need to know where I'm getting shot at so I can move accordingly.
Your favorite thing no aiming reticle on mounted guns.
That is stupid. If I want to aim in a fucking video game, I need a fucking reticle. Why do you have it on regular guns but not on the fucking Troika? Like, what?
Doesn't make sense.
Not to mention the final area is just on a train, and it's kind of boring.
That's honestly that's typical. It happens in a lot of games where either the last section or close to the last section does that.
This game also started the whole, like, look how gray and brown everything is. It's all realistic. Like, why did we start that color scheme in video games?
Because it's gritty.
Yeah, but it's boring.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I can't be the only one who thinks that way, right? Right?
No, and it still happens a lot, too. We had the random teleporting anytime one of us would get even slightly ahead. Even if we were right next to each other, it would still teleport you as if somebody got there first.
I remember it was a couple times I'd be like, what? Why am I here all of a sudden?
But there were other times where, like, we're in the same room and one of us still gets teleported from that room to that room.
Like, there are little, like, dog tags you can find around the game world.
Cog tags. Tags.
I'm so sorry. I'll be over here fucking myself, not knowing the correct Gears of War lore.
You're gonna do what?
I'll be over here fucking myself because I don't know the correct Gears of War lore.
How does that... What was that phrase? What? Who says that? Okay.
Anyway.
I guess that's your reaction to not knowing something.
I mean, but yeah, there are these cog tags you pick up to unlock comic book strips, and, like, who cares?
Yeah.
This is a linear as hell game. I'm not going to go out of my way to find these stupid dog tags.
Cog tags.
Fuck you. Anyway. It's kind of like an Uncharted where it's like, oh, I missed a treasure. Oh, heaven forbid. You know what I mean? Like, I'll live.
Yeah, unless you're going for trophies, it's whatever. And that's most collectibles, so. There
is a multiplayer component, but neither of us touched it.
Oh, yeah, that's the part that's not on the disc. Says
yeah, people. Oh yeah, I guess we should talk about that. If you're going to buy this game on disc, the campaign is on the disc. Multiplayer mode is not.
Which, I mean, that's fine. If the campaign is... We didn't actually test it, but it seems that people are saying that campaign is, in fact, on the disc. If the multiplayer isn't, it doesn't matter because you can't play it without online anyways.
That's just, a direction gaming's going, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but as long as the campaign's on there, like, that's fine. And from an Xbox Game Studios game, that's actually kind of crazy because a lot of Xbox games are not on disc.
Voice acting is okay. The guy who voices Bender does Marcus, so there's that.
That's the thing. There were a few times it's actually similar to other issues, but I got stuck on nothing.
I remember that.
Like I was right in front of you. There's an open fence where you are supposed to walk through it, and I couldn't.
I remember there was one in particular you couldn't get through. I just walked through it like it was nothing. Yeah. I was like,
"No, what are you doing, several times." Several times that happened.
The invisible walls are they're great, especially in online co-op games.
It wasn't a lag issue or anything. It was just happening for no reason.
I will say this in the game's defense. It is a lot more fun on co-op than it is by yourself. Like, the game was really made to be a co-op game.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, think about even the jank like that. If you're sitting there by yourself and running into these janky problems, it's just you being mad at the game. If somebody else is there with you, you can be like, look at how stupid this situation is and laugh about it.
Now, like I said, in 2006, this game was, like, the shit. Like, it was, I think, Game of the Year that year. It sold extremely well. Put the 360 on the map, really. 20 years later, doesn't really have the same impact. In fact, it's not aged very well. Like, the first Halo, I think, has aged pretty well. Gears of War, not so much.
Yeah, there's a few games. I mean, this.
And I'm somebody who enjoyed the original Gears of War. I had a lot of fun with the original Gears of War. This remaster, it's essentially playing the same game, which 20 years later doesn't hold up as much as it used to, at least not for me.
All right, so this was originally 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Dead Space was 2009?
2008.
Oh, 8. So, wow, even closer. What? Yeah, I have no excuses for this game, because Dead Space, the original on freaking PS3, still plays and looks great. So,
it does.
So, and then that one got a freaking remake.
The remake is so good, too.
Yeah, no, this should have been... It should have been a remake. I don't know why they re-remastered it,
It's a weird thing. Why'd you remaster a remaster? I don't get it. It's not like it looks that much better.
Oh, I had two more random things here. I hated the run animation. It was
Dude, that
just
drove you crazy.
every time I'm like, why? Why does it look like that? Like, I don't get motion sickness, but I hated that. And then this is a random thing. The radio dialogue automatically goes to the controller, which when you're playing multiplayer is annoying because your co-op partner's voice is also coming out of the controller.
Yeah, that wasn't a problem with the original game, but it is here.
I thought like, oh, there has to be a way to change that, right? And it's going to be in the audio. No, it was in the controls menu for some reason. It was very strange.
You had to do that right at the beginning of the game. I remember that.
Well, because I couldn't hear you because the radio was coming out at the same time as you were talking, and I couldn't hear either.
Like, if you never played Gears of War, you could do worse. It's really not a bad game fundamentally. It just has not aged particularly well. If you never played it before, you're probably going to be fine. Cody's just kind of a hipster.
What hipster? Wouldn't that mean I like it more because it's old? No. It's very weird. I remember being in the minority when
things they're universally loved.
That is not always true. No, but I do remember being in the minority when this came out. I was just like, I'm not getting the hype. I find this boring. Again, maybe back then I thought the guns didn't feel punchy. Also, because they don't.
I mean, the Hammer of Dawn's pretty cool.
It's something. It's very effective in a few places.
Well, there's one section where you control a vehicle and it sucks.
Oh yeah, actually it was fine, but it went on for way too long.
That section is awful. That whole chapter is awful because of the stupid krill.
Yeah, you loved the krill. You kept walking into that. You kept walking into that one alley like it's gonna work this time. I know.
And then all I had to do was like look over. Oh, there's a propane tank right there.
Yeah, that was funny.
I hate that.
No, but this. I mean, I don't know why this wasn't a remake.
Because they're cheap, Cody. They're too busy focusing on Fortnite updates that they didn't feel like remaking Gears of War.
Oof.
They imply on the trophy list that 2 and 3 are on the horizon.
What did it say?
Like, your adventure's done for now. Like,
we'll see.
One of the trophies said something like that.
Depends on how this one sold or is selling. I don't know how it's doing.
2 and 3 are much better games in just about every way.
So that's why see. I think I may not have played them because after this one I was like, I don't really care. 2
has better level design and 3 has a better everything.
Better everything is good.
So we'll see how those go. But I don't have much more to say here other than the game has not aged gracefully, and that's really upsetting to me because I did legitimately enjoy Gears of War.
No, like I said, I can't defend it because if Dead Space really was only 2 years later, I got nothing.
Halo 3 was a year later and plays better than this.
Again, I can't. There's no defense. Okay, sure. You started some things that other games took and improved, but that doesn't. I'm sorry. if I don't like it, I don't like it. I thank you for introducing those things. I appreciate that. Other games did it better.
I also don't have a reason to care about these characters or the plot because the game doesn't care about the characters or the plot. So,
that's why I was like, okay, so yeah, one character dies at the beginning. It's too soon for me to care, but another character dies towards the end. I don't even remember who. So
I don't remember who that was either.
But somebody died, right? Like that happened.
I think.
So this is the problem.
But I think we're going to go back to movies next week. And to lead us into the spooky season, we're going to start off with something that's not so spooky, but also might be Christmassy. Because this guy he's having a crisis he's going through. Next up, my friends, is A Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is Halloween.
It is. Thank you guys so much for listening to us talk about Gears of War today. I do appreciate it. And stick around for Nightmare Before Christmas. Take care.